How can traders break bad habits?
Yep. So habit formation is probably one of my most favorite, fascinating topics to read and learn about. I've cited this many times before, but Atomic Habits has become my Bible. And so, like, essentially, that's the book that was the perfect summation of everything I had learned independently over my career. And so, ways to break bad habits. For starters, you can control your environment, right? I don't want to be friends with the inactive, people doing hardcore drugs, whatever else, going out drinking, like going to jail. Like, I don't want to have those people in my environment because those will lead to bad habits. I do not have anything sweet, any dessert. I barely have any food in my apartment whatsoever. There is nothing to snack on. If you want to snack, maybe we can whip up some popcorn on a good day. Outside of that, there's nothing there. It is veggies, lean protein, and just clean carbs. That's the only thing in my house. And so that helps me build good habits. And there's ways to systemize all these things just pretty much ad infinity, right? Like if you're on your phone all day, when you should be focusing on trading, there's ways to hide that, lock that up, turn it off, whatever. So controlling your environment is one. Your identity, like we've been discussing, also leads to habits. If you identify as being a low float trader, and you see there's money in futures, for example, instead of saying, why not me? You start saying, that's not me. And that's a huge, crucial difference, right? Your identity can prevent you from doing the things that you want to do. One bad identity that I have is, oh, I am a huge eater. I am notoriously, with my friend group, a massive, massive eater, especially between working out and running and everything. I've probably developed too much of an appetite where there's meals where I will just go ham, but that's become part of my identity in a bad way, right? Stuff like that. Or like, oh, I'm a big drinker, right? What does a big drinker do? If a big drinker gets offered a drink, a big drinker says yes and then has three or four more, or 10 more, or 20 more, right? Um, so that's one way. Another way is you can change the cues. And I don't mean that as QQQ NASDAQ, but if I know that um, if I know that if I'm in a hole and I know seeing my monthly P&L is going to depress and demotivate me, I can block that so I can no longer get that negative cue. If I know that being with X friend is going to make me smoke a cigarette, I can avoid that cue. And vice versa, if I know my friend is going to run at 7 a.m. every morning, I can say like, "Hey man, you're running by my apartment anyways. Give a knock on my door, and I'll come down and I'll be down every morning 7:05 a.m." So that's how you can structure positive cues. And so a lot of this too then comes down to iterate, because whatever change you make isn't going to be perfect, and this is where you need to tinker. And so maybe the thing is overtrading, right? Let's take that. And so one thing I say is there's many reasons why people might overtrade. Some just love the action, some want to be proven right, some get bored. And look, maybe our theory is you get bored, right? So then our solution is, hey, if you're trading because you're bored and over trading is your main issue, guess what? Maybe it actually is productive for you to watch Netflix during the day. Maybe it actually is productive for you to watch or to read a book during the day. You can't actually do productive work like a zillion hours a day. It would be easy for me to say do that, but I know it's not practical. But you try that and you iterate and you say like, oh man, like I was I was reading my book, but then like I just couldn't resist the appeal. Midday, I still ended up trading, 10 tickers. So then we say, okay, maybe you can't be in that office environment midday when it's slow. Maybe that becomes you're going to go for a walk and do something healthy, or even better, you're going to go to the gym. You're going to take a healthy adaptive habit and do it during a time when you being on the desk is maladaptive, right? So instead of churning from 12 to 1, you're going to go to the gym or get outdoors or go for a nice walk and have a nice healthy lunch. Now that's how you start to like iterate and make progress and stuff.